Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resume. The resume we have up first is a back-end developer. I don't know what kind of back-end developer. They did not tell me. I assume Java, but I could be wrong. This person says they've been applying a lot but got nothing. Their previous job search, which was almost 2.5 years ago, which was actually... 2.5 years ago from the date. That's actually not a terrible market. That was like right when the market started to crash. Was 800 applications. You got 8 interviews. So the resume was a solid 1 out of 100, which was bad. You've combined your full-time and part-time roles at company into a single entry. Might want to spread that out because this makes it assume that this was only part-time. So I would recommend probably spreading that one out. Because this makes me think that you have only done this maybe like 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week for a year or two. That's it. I guess a year and a half. I don't know if you like did any of that full time. If you didn't do it full time, then that's understandable. The second thing I want to know is, are you graduating? Like, on average, there are definitely companies that do things differently, but on average, they're not going to move forward with your resume if you can't start within 3 months. At least in the US. I know the UK is a little bit different. But in the US, if you cannot start within 3 months of you applying, they will probably toss your resume. So if you are graduating later in 2026, that might be the case. Although if you are putting it in now, you are right about at the sweet spot to start applying if you're graduating in January. So, for the actual things that I'm looking for a back-end Java developer, which again, I don't even know if this person is Java, Spring, Spring Boot, SQL, RESTful APIs, microservices, OOP, Git, other APIs, Maven, Cloud, Architecting, SDLC, MongoDB, extra credit for Kafka, Full Stack, Agile, CI/CD, Hibernate, DevOps, and Docker. I did not find basically any of that. So, let's see, as I put my hair up, if I can find more than that. Well, I did a meter yeet and I only found none of that. I found 3 things, which was Java, CI/CD, and Cloud out of the corner of my eye. Oh, I hate how that looks. We're putting that down. All right. So, the problem with this is this doesn't matter. You can safely delete that. This is fine. I assume you did not put where you got it for, or if it was because you did not want to dox yourself. That is a-okay. The rest of this here is, sorry, I did not get a lot of sleep. The reviews here may be a little harsher than normal because I did not get a lot of sleep last night. The problem with this though is, this doesn't matter, right? Like, the unstable legacy infrastructure is nice, but I don't think any of them is asking for Star Team VCS. What is Star Team? I guess it's the API. That's nice, but I'm only looking for the word API. Built a custom ending migration tool. Again, Java, good, but you filled everything with this stuff, like CLI and SVN and CLI twice. You put Star Team CLI and regular CLI. I don't know what that is, and I don't know why it would be useful for this. To transfer comments to, again, visual VN. Like, this is not what they're looking for. This is actually an okay sentence. In fact, I almost didn't see the Azure in your resume, I almost didn't see the Azure in resume because it only got down this far in 20 seconds. But this is a good sentence, right? Integrated our new, I don't know what SsetVN is, it's not needed, into CI/CD pipelines in collaboration with QA and DevOps. That's good because it mentions the DevOps team and it mentions CI/CD. But you filled your resume with stuff that is not needed. Authored full optional documentation by, again, not, you know what? Probably not on this one, but I don't think this is terrible. And again, this is solid, but that's it. And if you're looking at this, the only thing I found is Java, which is good, Azure, DevOps, and DevOps is a bonus, CI/CD, which is also a bonus, and I feel like there was one other thing that I can't remember. But yeah, that was basically it. That's it. Where's the microservices? Where's the SQL? Where's the Spring? Where's the RESTful API specifically? Where is the SDLC? Where's the MongoDB? Is there any part of this that you did full stack? So part of the reason you're not getting anything is you filled it with stuff that's not relevant. Like when you apply for a job, they are looking for very specific things. The person that does everything, unless you're applying for a role that specifically needs it, which is rare, is going to get rejected. Maybe like startups would want you to wear many hats. That can be very useful. But in this, you don't even show you wear many hats. You just show that you use Star Team and Star Team. So if this was a Star Team role, yeah, it looks like you would probably have experience. But for most backend roles, which are usually focused on Java, Python, or any of the C stuff, they're not gonna move you forward because they're not gonna need it. I've never heard of Star Team before. Again, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist or anything. It just means that they're probably not looking for it. None of the jobs I looked at mentioned Star Team. And then here, project to cross-platform app sprints. This is okay. I'd like a little bit more. Again, like you assume that I know what you put in it. And again, you can't just say this. This doesn't count. Like, again, this can be safely deleted. This is what I need. But you cannot have it here. It has to be here or here. You cannot just put React Native TypeScript Expo Google API. You need to say here, which is built a feature-rich React Native app, good with Expo, whatever. Integrated Google APIs. You have to say it here. Putting it off up here in the corner doesn't matter. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying it doesn't count. I cannot send this to a manager if you only have it off in the corner. I need you to write it like you did here, except I need the relevant skills. Like, if this had relevant skills, this would be a good bullet point. But instead, the only thing I see is Java. So if you said built a custom end-to-end migration tool, and then you put Java, Spring Boot, and AWS or Azure DevOps, this would be good. But you don't. And this is why you're having real struggle finding a job. This is what most people's problem is they put what they think is impressive to them, but isn't actually what we're looking for. Again, I'm not looking for 20 years of critical code. Again, like maybe that could be useful, but the fact that you're only getting 1 in 100 was probably proving to me that it's not. Or Star Team, I'm looking for Java. I'm looking for what you did and how you did it and the reason you did it. And you don't tell me. You basically fill your resume with SVN and Star Team. And you make the assumption that A, I know what that is, which I don't, and B, that is actually what the company is looking for, but it's probably not. Again, like maybe there's a company that's looking for it, but I have to give broad spectrum advice here. And broad spectrum advice is to not put 1,800 Star Teams on it, especially if you've only done this part-time. Again, it's okay to do this entirely part-time, but I don't actually know if you've done this at all any full-time. I assume it's just part-time. If it's only been part-time, this is fine to keep. If you've done any full-time, you need to break it up. So, yeah, that's my big problem with this, is you just don't tell me what you do that I need. Like, you do it a little bit down here, but no one's scrolling that far down for an entry-level full-stack developer position. There are thousands of candidates. Like, I know people get upset at my methodology about how I do it, but this is how you hire faster, is you look at what's in front of you and you don't get caught up in what could be, is you only do what's in front of you. That actually is more efficient at the volume people are doing. So that's all I can really do for this one, and I hope that was helpful. I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to say, like, this is why you're failing. This right here is why you're failing, is there's nothing here that I'm looking for. So before we go to the next resumes, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. And if you need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at youtube.com. Well, I don't need to say that. You're here at Twitch, whatever. You can find it. It's in the comments below. That's where I answer more questions. And let's go to the next resume. This is, I think it's an implementation specialist. This person sent me absolutely no information. They just said implementation specialist, and that's it. I don't know if these are right because there were like 6,000 roles that came up when I put implementation specialist, and all of them were divided by industry. So I don't know if these are correct. I'm going to assume probably not because it depends on your industry. So I'm going to make the assumption that if I can find out what industry you are in and if it was legible, then maybe this could get a pass. Because again, I don't even know the ratio. Nobody's telling me nothing. So, all right, let's see what I can find in 20 seconds. Also, this formatting is a nightmare. Please don't use this formatting. All right, can't use this. What are you at? ROI, I mean, maybe SaaS was something I'm looking for. Technical knowledge, partner with sales, cross-departmental, that's okay. But I don't know what you did. So, no, it doesn't work. Again, like, I don't know what you did. Yeah, I don't know what you did. Because this is onboarding, and then this is customer success. So, are you a customer success special? I don't know. You don't tell me. Again, this can't really use. 10 years SAS. Okay, so you're a SaaS person. All right, so for SaaS, you'd want more than this. Like, I also need to know that you did multiple projects. This is not understandable by a layman. Also, your formatting is hideous. Use this formatting. This is what your resume should look like. And by hideous, I mean it's very hard to find what I need in the 20 seconds I have. My formatting is ugly, but this ugly duckling will get you a job. This ugly will get you rejected because they can't find what they need. It's also here you need... Why is there an A here? You need the months. Anytime you put a date under work experience or an internship, you need the months, because otherwise you could have only been at this job for 1 month. You could have started at December 2023 late and then quit in January 2024. Or you could have started in... again, this could anywhere be from 1 month to 2 years. That's how broad that range is. So you need the dates. Like, if you've been at the same place for like 20 years, okay, probably the months don't really matter. But unless that's the case, and this is not it for this, you need the months. You like here, you could probably get away with not using the months because it's 8 years and, whatever. But here you absolutely need it. So I need to know what you do. I need your formatting to be better. And I need you personally, that if you resubmit this, to tell me more. I can't help you if you just say implementation specialist. You don't give me any of your ratios. You don't give me any of the stories. I don't even know if you're looking in the United States or not. So fix your formatting and give me more information so I can actually help you, because I can't. So that's all I can do for this one. On to the next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. So they are in Germany, and they dox themselves by putting their whole face and picture in the top. So this is as far as I can scroll down on. But yeah, let's see if I can't find out these things, which, again, I am a US-based recruiter. My advice may not fully translate outside the US. So in the US, for a data scientist, what I'd be looking for is your degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms, so data modeling, data analytics, industry, health, blah, blah, blah. So healthcare or SDLC, basically, what industry are you in? Explaining stuff to non-technical folks, this is huge. Influencing stakeholders, also huge. Cross-functional, cloud, any of it is good. Microsoft Office applications, yes, I'm serious. And maybe Google Sheets. AI in any of its forms. And then dashboards and data visualization like Tableau, Power BI, and ETL. Those are what I'd be looking for in the US. So let's see if I can't find it and go. All right, ML is good. Cloud is good. Python is good. To influence ML ops, Docker, I don't need. Dashboards, but you didn't tell me if they were visualized dashboards, and ETL, and that's all I found, and that would be a no. So This person also has 150 applications to 1+. So again, they are really struggling. And part of this is don't use this formatting. Please don't. No resume is ever improved by 2 columns. I don't think I've ever seen a resume that is better because it has 2 columns. So delete all of that. Oh God, I can't even do that. Scroll it right. So make your resume look like this. This is how you want your resume to look. It is boring, it is basic, and it is ugly, and this will get you a job. That is what gets a job. The ugly duckling will hatch into a promotion. I don't know. I have a headache and I'm tired. So yeah, the formatting definitely isn't good. But a bigger problem is these are not really all the bullet points I'd be looking for. So design scalable ML pipelines on GCP and Azure is good. That's actually 2 of the things I'm looking for. Along with Python, right? And it's the AI stuff, so pandas, whatever, but that's still 3. The problem is the rest of this is entirely focused on this. When you built the monitoring dashboards, I don't know if they were like visualized, and did you use Tableau or Power BI? And a big issue here, and I think this is probably the biggest issue, is your job as a data scientist is to, well, explain to me what this stuff means. Because I'm not going to know what this means. I'm not going to know that a 13% increase via potato farming leads to a profit margin of 12%, right? Like, none of that is going to make sense to me. So you need to explain it. And at no point in this do I see you explaining complex topics to non-technical people. Again, I am having trouble speaking today. You have a lot of data ingestion, and this is entirely focused on the data. Like, that's the part that kind of bugs me about this, is it looks like more of an engineer than a data scientist stuff. And yes, I know there's overlap, but like, you're not explaining like how you do it. You're not showing how you had an impact. I don't necessarily need to know that you ingested 10,000 bits of data. I needed to know what you did with that information to convince people and the result of that. So you're focused so much on the data, which again is part of the job, but it's not all of the job. I need to know how you helped people. I need to know how you influenced people. I need to know that this data did stuff. And as an example, people assume that recruiters' entire job is reviewing resumes. It's not. It's about 20% of the job. Both internal and external, only about 20% of my job is reviewing resumes, and I'm being very generous with that ratio. Most of it is scheduling and meetings and talking and influencing and doing a bunch of other stuff. So if I applied for a recruitment role and I focused entirely on sourcing resumes, they wouldn't move me forward because that's only 10 to 20% of the job. And that's what you show me here, is that you've only done about 30% of the job. So maybe this would be better for a data engineer role. I don't know, but this is not all that I would want in a data scientist. So that is your problem, is you need to focus on what they actually care about. And what they actually care about, in the United States at least, is going to be mostly this. So yeah, you had about 5 of it, but I just need more. So let's go to the next resume. This is a second or third review of a business analyst. So for a business analyst, what we want is SQL, Tableau, Power BI, and industry. There's going to be a couple of qualifications that I just can't find because of the specific industry, in this case, e-commerce or retail. I was not able to find those qualifications directly, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple of them. So as long as I'm able to determine that this is, well, retail or e-commerce, it should be good. Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Jira, SAP, requirements gathering and documentation, cross-functional from IC to stakeholders and managers, explain complex topics to non-technical people, meet multiple deadlines concurrently, agile, scrum, waterfall. That is what we're going to be looking for. All right, so starting the clock. Can I find it half asleep and exhausted? We'll see. With a headache. All right. Okay, market data using SQL. Good. SAS again. Manage forecast for something. Creating detailed processes with MVZO requirements. Confluence. Develop Power BI for system tracks. Okay, good. Python, Salesforce, CRM. Pretty solid. Am I missing anything? Okay. That was actually good. That's much better than the last one. Am I missing anything? So let's count them. SQL, Excel, SAS. Again, I think SAS was a industry-specific one. Also, what I want you to add is a single word here is I want you to add analyzed retail or analyzed grocery store market sales data. This shows your industry. So you want to put whatever your industry data is here. So it's just going to say analyzed X market sales data. So we have 3. To forecast demand for the shipment planning and decrease emergency restocking costs. Manage 4, that shows you can do stuff multi-time and cross-functional, so 6. You don't need to necessarily capitalize subject matter expert. I think it's okay to leave it just as the subject matter expert. Creating detailed maps with MS Visio. Again, that may or may not be a qualification for this industry. Through Confluence, meeting 100% deadlines. Okay. I'm hesitant to know if Confluence and MS Visio are part of the qualifications for your industry. If they are, leave them in. If not, we want to maybe add something else there. Developed Power BI dashboards, good. From SAP systems, good. To track KPIs and sales pattern and rapid and top products for customer retention, good. Used Python, good. CRM, again, maybe this is something they would want. Multiple products or 15 cross. I kind of like that. Agile Scrum is good. So I like this. This should be higher. Your stakeholder stuff is huge. So when you get to like bigger companies, this stakeholder stuff is massive. Like they want to know that you can convince them because, and this is like relevant to being a recruiter, is as a recruiter, you don't really get to decide a lot of stuff, but you do have to convince people to follow what you do. So you have a lot of responsibility, but very little power. So I think this should be higher. And if possible, maybe put in created executive level reports and presentations, good. And data visualization, or again, like the dashboards using Power BI for business stakeholders, communicate product performance and plan future strategies. Basically, I think we can add a little bit. So is this bad? No, I don't think this is. Again, I've got a headache and I'm tired, and this is still mostly what I want. I might be able to move this forward. I just think we can tighten it up a little bit more. We need to clarify if SAS and Confluence and MS Visio, and there was one other here that I cannot, and Salesforce CRM data are what they would be looking for. Maybe they are. Again, there's a limit to how much I could do. So yeah, I like it. I just think we need to switch up the order a little bit. But I like it. I like it overall. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. I don't know their ratio. They say 25, which maybe it's true. Maybe this is what's working for them, but they also didn't give me any information. I am always sus if people don't give me information, because then I think they just click it because they want to send it. So, please comment below your actual ratio, and if it is 25-1, bravo. Because that's actually a really good ratio. So, what we're looking for full stack is TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, React.js, API, did I say React.js? Whatever. RESTful APIs, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET, or Python, or Java. Again, you don't need all of those. It's just nice to know one of them. And a bonus for, like, architecture or extra languages or Git or DevOps. So, let's start. Again, I can't really use this. Small talk, not what I can use. JavaScript, Node.js, API solid, architected, really good word. Freelance projects, bachelor's, all the way at the bottom. Yeah, it's not. Okay, this actually isn't as worse as I thought. I don't know if this is a 1 in 25. If it is, I want to know where you're applying to. But yeah, so formatting wise, I think is a bigger issue with this. And some of the bullet points are a little vague. So you did have a lot of what I wanted here, right? Like API, you had Node.js, you had PostgreSQL, JavaScript. That's really good. And then and you said the word architected, which is also good. And that's a giant plus. I'm just kind of missing like a little bit more. But it also looks like you're a contractor. And contractors have different requirements for what they are looking for. Not a ton, like you still need the basics of this, but it's a little assumed that contractors are going to hit the ground running, and they may not need as many as the basic stuffs as normal. Sometimes, and depends on the industry. So if this is a contractor resume, I get it. That might actually make more sense. If it's not, I have no idea. Please in the comments below let me know what your actual ratio is, what you're applying for, because I would love to know more. But yeah, you're just missing some stuff. Again, I would prefer this to be down here. So just like develop and maintain code using JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and TypeScript. I would prefer some cloud if possible. And basically that's kind of it, and maybe another backend language. But yeah, it's not terrible. Like honestly, this sentence alone has most of what I need. And cross-functional. I just need a little bit more. I might actually be able to move you forward. Depending on the role. I just need a little bit more, right? That's all you need to do. Just add a little bit more of the basic stuff, but that's all I can do for this resume. Again, pretty short, partly a formatting issue, partly just a lack of bullet points. And again, if you don't tell me enough information, I can't help you. I would rather you over-explain and put like 8 paragraphs like that one person did than leave it blank. So until the next video, I will help you all get ahead of your job search. And, please like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me out. And join my Twitch chat at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. And, yeah, I'm here to help y'all.